What's up? My name is Nisa. I'm one of the founding members of TAT crew, and I'm here painting on Boone Avenue, um, part of the 10th anniversary. Yeah, it's 10th. But for me, it's a pleasure to be part of something like this because this is what we do for a living. So even though we travel painting um, and get hired to do what we do, it's always an honor to come and represent where you're from. And where I'm from is from the Bronx. And you know what? I'm never gonna stop being from the Bronx. Um, I mean, I know when since the 80s, and he's always been someone who, outside of this graffiti game, has always been someone who's been supporting the culture, and I give him a lot of respect for that. So whenever he reaches out and goes, "Hey, I have a project," we're always there for him because if you don't love your own, or you're not part of your own circle, then you have no circle. So that's where I'm at in life. But at the end of the day, I'm a scumbag. I just talk salty to people because that's who I am. What I did here was paying an homage. There were these guys who used to sell numbers like the lotto, but it was like a ghetto lotto in like the grocery stores. So we had one in my neighborhood. He either had a little 22 pistol or an ice pick. So I was thinking about him the other day, just going over some memories. And I said, you know what? We used to call him Don Chicharron. And a friend of mine's recently in Miami, Thurston Howell III, just made a song called El Don Chicharron. I was like, yo, you know El Don? He was like, no, I just made him up. I was like, I had El Don on my block. So he used to hang out in the grocery store and used to sell numbers. He was called, in Spanish, he was called a bolitero. So he used to sell bolitas, which was, it was basically the lotto, but it was an illegal lotto. And so being that I'm always one of these people that I really appreciate my upbringing, like where I grew up at and stuff like that. So um, having depicting him on a wall like this is dope because it still reminds the neighborhood that these Don Chicharrones made us who we are.
Wow, looking at this character, this is really an OG Boricua right there. The Guayabera shirt, that's right there, classic shirt that represents Boricua with the mafia hat. And then you got the selling numbers. Back in the days, that's what they used to do, sell numbers. And then you got the ice pick. They were always ready for whatever. And you can't forget the gold chain. The gold chain that was always was showing the chest out. If you didn't have your chest out back then, you was in a true Boricua. This is an old school, and then you got the wooden cigarette right there. And they have the cigarette in the side, and they will be talking, and that cigarette wouldn't fall for nothing. And then you can't leave out the gold chain, the gold wrist. Hey man, look at that. That reminds me of one of my uncles back in the days in Puerto Rico.
I always, listen, I've traveled. I've been to China, I've been to Israel, I've been to Ireland, I've been to Egypt, I've been to France, been all around this world basically. As a teenager in the 80s. And the coolest thing is to find somebody who's your partner and says, oh, you gotta leave for how many days? No problem. I got your back. Basically means bring the check. So thanks a lot for everybody.
Thank you so much, brother. For real, for real.
No, that's a real thing. My wife be like, how many days? I'd be like, no, I'm not cheating on you. She'd be like, Yeah. How much? I'm like, what do you mean how much? I gotta be out. Be back.